Welcome back! Oh. Welcome everyone back to the Grand Slam episode Dose.
Yay, 2.
It's been
episode 2. I'm excited.
Episode 2 of the Grand Slam. Welcome everybody. But yeah, welcome back everybody. We've been it's been a heck of a week or a while. I don't know how long it's been, but we've been there. And
yeah, pretty long while.
Indeed. And let's just start off with like, how you been, Robin? How you do's?
Well, I'm doing good. I graduated. That's the big thing.
Oh yeah, congrats!
Thank you.
He's an official graduate.
And then I then have to go to grad school, so then that's gonna be fun.
Hey,
my schooling is not done yet.
It's never done. You will be in school forever. But in all honesty, to everyone and to Robin who graduated recently, even during this pandemic, congratulations to all you guys, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
No problem.
I will say, if there are weird pauses, it's because I'm eating.
That is true. Either eating or a bit lagging, but I'll see what it is. I can tell when it's lagging. But it's slow. But me recently, I just been working at Lowe's, and that's been a whole journey.
At least you got a better paying job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It pays me way more, and then it pays a bit extra because of what the virus is going on. It's it gets a bit tiring, especially since now they switched me. I was originally going to be a cashier, but then they moved me to the garden, and being in the garden is like, it's a lot. It's like, especially since it's hot here in Texas, so I'd be sweating like crazy hell. And like these couple of days has been like me trying to see what's the best clothes to wear. And there was one day I wore a button-up shirt with no sleeve shirt. It was the worst day to wear it. It was the worst possible thing to do. Big caveman brain here didn't think it was gonna rain, and after the rain, the heat went up real quick and created humidity plus heat.
Oh, I was about to ask, did you get hit by that big storm?
Yeah, it started raining. It rained yesterday, and then the rain the day before. And man, wearing that button-up shirt, I was not in the mood. I was like, I want this day to end. I just want to get out of these clothes.
It's just like, God, I just can't deal with anybody today. Hey, Edgar, do you want to get some good ice cream? Fuck you, Ted. Oh,
fuck you, Chad.
Oh.
But everyone there is real cool. It's a cool environment. I do like the garden a lot. It's easy, but that's why at the end of the day, I'm choosing to do night shifts there. Shifts, because it's still a bit hot, but it cools down quicker because of the nighttime.
Yeah.
And they give me good hours, but it's a lot of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the process of trying to see how my schedule will go, and the good thing is I see like how the 3 weeks will go, and they might change or not, really depending, but that's how the schedule will be for right now. As of right now, seeing how whenever I have a day off, and which I'll have days off, and those days off is when I'll stream the podcast. And some people may think it's like, oh, isn't that like stress or something that you're gonna be like crazy stressed out? No, this is my stress relief. It's like, I like doing this stuff. It's been fun. But go on.
One of the oh god, I just had it in my head. Damn. One thing. Oh, now I remember. I'm gonna see if I can try to get like a better mic. Hopefully, like a podcast type mic.
Yeah, same.
I know I said this on the last podcast, but I want to try to get a better mic, and I'm gonna try to get a better mic, and then get a webcam.
Nice.
For my computer.
Yeah, because the one that I'm using for you right now is your little Pepe frog.
Yeah, my handsome Pepe frog.
The handsome. But as some of you notice, I'm not using my some earbuds. I have headphones now. With a mic. So maybe you can hear me better? I don't know.
I was about to say, now he's coming in clearer.
I am clearer now. You can hear me clearly now. The rain has gone. Well, no, it's still going on, but that. Lowe's is like that. It's tiring, but at least the pay's really good for me.
Yeah.
In general.
Speaking of what you could use your paycheck on.
Yeah. There's while this whole week, while we were just doing our own thing for a while, a very shitload of game announcements was just like out of nowhere were just announced.
Yeah.
And we'll start off with the first one, which we'll just start talking about. That was recently that we said we would be talking about in the first episode, but now it's here.
Yeah, there we go.
The Xbox Series X conference, or the Microsoft press conference. The thing that we were hoping what they would show.
Was gameplay, and they didn't deliver, and everybody got mad.
And here's our thoughts in it. Did we love it, or did we go, oh?
I guess I can start.
Yeah.
It was very lackluster.
Mm.
I liked what they showed, but if they were to come out and say, if they said that it was going to be a bunch of gameplay reveal, they didn't really show a lot of gameplay reveal.
No.
Even with Ubisoft, when they said that tune into the Microsoft conference and we'll show you a gameplay trailer, and they didn't show gameplay.
They had a different definition of what gameplay was.
They showed gameplay rendered cutscenes,
and that was it.
Yeah. So,
and I'm like, that's my same feeling too. I watched this and I'm like, wow, this was really this was honestly really really lame. Because I'm like, and they said that their AAA games they're gonna talk about is during that Summerfest that Jeff Keighley's doing, that he's doing as his own E3, and a lot of companies are joining in that.
Which I'm glad that there's gonna be something.
Yeah.
Similar to that of E3, and I'm like, okay, good. We're gonna get some kind of announcement stuff.
Mm-hmm. And this one, what I was really hoping for this press conference to be was at least to not at least, but for them to show that how powerful this system is gonna be and what games are gonna go beyond and go balls to the walls with the system.
And so far, PlayStation is the only one who did that, and they didn't even have a press conference.
Yeah, which we'll talk about. Which we will be talking about in a bit. But yeah. I was the only game out of that whole conference that showed me and okay, that is I'm excited to see more, and was kind of hyping me up for it, was the very first game they showed, which I don't even remember the name. I don't really remember.
It's a Chinese game
made by one dude.
Yeah, which I found very impressive. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I can give credit where credit's due because it looks amazing, and the fact that it was done by one person is amazing about it. The game that I was excited for that they showed that was new and not a repeated title was the game The Medium.
Mm-hmm. That one looks pretty interesting. I know the person who's composing the music for the game is the original composer for Silent Hill, which I was
for Silent Hill 1 and 2, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, if they're gonna get him on board, then this game has to be good.
Yeah, I'm like that caught my interest. I'm like, oh, okay, but
from what I can see from what they showed quote unquote gameplay of, it doesn't look like it is next gen type. It looks very brand new current gen, but it still looks good nonetheless.
Yeah.
I still would really want to play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was hoping at least for this conference to show me oh, I wanted to see games that would be that would make me want to buy this system and but nothing was there. A lot of the games were just games that you can play on your on your Xbox, in your regular Xbox One, but they had nothing that was showing next gen, like any of this next gen, like how powerful they can be and how powerful they can go. That's what I was hoping at least this conference would do, but I guess now we would have to wait till the summer in June or July, whenever the Jeff Keighley things happen, that we actually can see what they can do. But I do remember a while ago, like months ago, that Microsoft was talking about what their plans for launch of the Xbox is, and they're going to launch it, but they're still going to focus on the Xbox One still for a couple of years, since there's still going to be games that are going to be going on.
The Xbox One is turning into the 360, where they're going to keep making games for it until, you know, they don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is that, you know, I think it sucks that that's the route that it's going to, because I don't know. I think, like, if you're going to be done with a console, you need to be done with it and not bring up a new one and, like, think, oh, okay, people are still gonna buy old games. I mean, like, I think the Xbox One has good hardware in it, but if you're going to compare it to the Xbox Series X, nobody's going to want to play what's on the Xbox One anymore.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to want to try to save money to get the newest system. It's kind of like with the fate of the 360. The very last game of it was a fucking Kinect game. So, and it wasn't even a good one. So yeah, I don't know what will happen. I mean, you know, I don't think they'll ever. Also, like, I don't think they'll ever be a best-selling console. Really, for a long time, because the PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console of all time.
Yeah.
That's just proven fact. It doesn't matter which side you're on. That's fact. And a lot of people. I mean, hell, I even own an old one because it's just such a good system, and people love playing PlayStation 2 games compared to Xbox games, because the only thing that Microsoft released that was related to the Xbox is, and I think this is a good thing too, that they're coming back with it, is so with the Xbox Series X, they're going to have cross compatibility for all of the games. Well, not all of them, but
for what they have as of right now,
for all the systems that they have released. So the first Xbox, the 360 to the Xbox One to the Series X. And another thing that's kind of cool that I kind of wanted, and I should have gotten it, and I think you can still get it. You can get an Xbox One controller, but it's designed to look like the Xbox Duke from the first Xbox console.
I think I've heard of that one.
So, yeah, and it's like a fat controller, and a lot of people really like it. I remember because, like, it had like these black and white buttons that were on the bottom, close to the A, B, Y, X buttons, and there's something about, like, I just want to get that, but one thing though about this conference that happened was that since it happened, I don't know, I forgot which person from Microsoft said this, but they did come out saying that yes, we're aware of what people have been saying about it, and we are apologizing about, like, they apologize for not keeping up with the promise of showing gameplay. So, which I'm like, okay, at least.
I wonder how much what the like and dislike ratio for the conference is. The last time I checked was when it was live streaming, and it was like in between, like it was tied neck to neck.
I think I would think it's still equal, but let me see.
Let's double check. We're going to check, ladies and gentlemen.
Inside Xbox.
First look at the Xbox Series X gameplay.
This is from
Ooh. I'm at the official Xbox YouTube channel. It has 26,000 likes, but it has 34,000 dislikes.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
considering what they did. I mean, luckily, like I said, the good thing about them is that they apologized for it. So that's one thing I can give credit to them, is that, okay, at least they know, all right, we fucked up. We'll make it better next time. We'll keep our promise with that. I knew that when, I'll be honest though, when Ubisoft said, oh yeah, we're going to show a gameplay trailer, I knew exactly, like, no, they're not.
I guess it's 'cause I didn't see when Ubisoft posted that. It was at the end, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, please show something, but my gut was like, Ubisoft's not gonna show jack shit. And then I was watching, I'm like, you got, and then after like the trailer ended, the guy's like, wasn't that amazing gameplay, guys? And I'm like,
no,
it wasn't.
There was no gameplay.
I'm like, do you guys know the definition of gameplay? I'm like, it's like, what? That's not gameplay. That's just in-engine cutscenes or whatever. I'm like, we came here to see the gameplay, not the damn trailer again. I'm like, yes, it is a nice, expensive trailer, but we are not here to do that.
Yeah. I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be the next Black Flag.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Well, I mean, like, in terms of, I hope it's really good, and I think it's well, not I think. I know it's going to be that transitional Assassin's Creed game. It's going to be the last Assassin's Creed game that comes out on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's going to be the first Assassin's Creed game that comes out on the Series X and the PlayStation 5.
Yeah. I with Assassin's Creed, it's like I was hoping to see some more gameplay, because I like the like just a lot of like Norse mythology or anything that's related to Vikings, because I always thought they were so cool.
Yeah. But that overall, my thoughts on the conference was that it was, Yeah. I mean, it was like, it was, they didn't hold their promise to showing gameplay, but they did show some cool stuff that I got excited for. I
feel like if it were like, I forgot what Xbox calls it, but it's like their own kind of direct. They do their own Xbox Direct. If it was called that instead of like showing us about the Xbox Series X, it wouldn't get as much hate as it is now.
Yeah,
I would guarantee that. But speaking of next gen consoles, recently, a couple of days ago, what's the name of the company? Unreal?
Yeah, Unreal.
Or no. Epic Games.
Well, Unreal is the name of the engine that they showed off. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Epic Games who showed off this trailer, but it was the introduction to the brand new engine, Unreal 5.
And it was specifically to show the engine, but they said that this was running on a PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at that, I was like, holy shit!
So many triangles.
Too many triangles! So many triangles, I tell you! To the point where it looks like TV static.
I know. It looked so stunning. It looked so real.
It looks like
the lighting effect that they showed off.
Yeah. It looks like how big of a budget they would do with animation, like making like realistic looking animation for films.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. The engine, and that's more of a conclusion where it's like that's where it showed like, oh shit. So that gives us a taste of what the PlayStation 5 has in store for its power it has.
Yeah. Like and PlayStation 5 is the one that has the lower numbers, it has the lower specs compared to the Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that like they're showing it off on the PlayStation 5 is like, if the PlayStation 5 looks that good, just imagine what the Xbox Series X would look like.
Fuck yeah. And
yeah, I mean, so that's why that makes you even more disappointed that like why didn't Microsoft show off their like the gameplay techniques of what this console could do.
It's just it's a weird decision they did with that conference, and people I know a lot of people are already on the board of getting the PS5 because of this Unreal Engine and how they said this was running on a PlayStation 5.
Right now, I'm very conflicted of which one I want.
I'm like one of the ones that I'm already like at that point where I want to get the PS5, but I'm still at that thing. I'm still trying to give Microsoft a chance to see, will I get an X? What can they sway me to get the Xbox Series X?
Right now, what would sway me is price.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I think they can both have the capability of showing great games. It's just right now it's on price. I'm very down the middle in the debate between what's better, PlayStation or Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I have both an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, and I'm a PC gamer. So, I'm in between.
What do you think the price is for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X? Do you think which price do you think is going to be higher or is going to be lower?
I don't know.
Because I've always heard people say like it could be like a range of like $400 when it for open release for both of them.
I think they're both going to be pretty expensive compared to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One because of the hardware they're using specifically.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people tend to forget that is that the reason why the price fluctuates is because you're not paying for the whole console, you're paying for the hardware that's within the console.
Yeah. How much was the PS4 and the Xbox Series X when they launched? Do you know that? Or?
That's people want. I think the PS4 sold more because it was cheaper compared to the Xbox One. So the Xbox One, it was about $599, $600, and the PlayStation was $100 cheaper. So, I think it's going to be the same. Who's going to be higher? I don't know. I think it's going to be this. Honestly, it may be. I think PlayStation will probably be the cheapest one because if you look at the specs, PlayStation has not as good a hardware compared to the Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And so I at this point I don't know. It's a wait and see.
Yeah, I feel like because I know that was the problem when like the Xbox One was announced. A lot of people were not having good feelings about it when it first was announced, and then when it launched, it didn't sell that much because of the pricing itself. And I feel like that could maybe help them learn don't make it too expensive, even though the hardware is the hardware itself, how to make it is going to be expensive, but in order to sell to the consumers and to us, to people, I guess, you have to make it at least affordable at the same time, because making it $1,000 for a console, I won't be able to buy it.
Yeah, that's what's kind of keeping me away from getting the Valve Index.
Yeah,
and like I said, I fully understand why it's $1,000.
Oh yeah,
to get that hardware, because it's all in the controllers.
It's a very VR is a very niche. Is that the right word? Niche.
Niche, but because of Half-Life Alyx, I think it's going to start picking up.
I feel like
although it
won't pick up as much, but it's gonna pick up some because it's still an expensive hardware.
It's gonna start showing how you can utilize VR and make a full-blown game in VR. Because Half-Life Alyx, I still want to play it, and there are rumors that it's actually going to they're going to put it on other. They might bring it to PlayStation. So if it does, I'm going to get it and play it and see how it is. And I know a lot of people say that you can play it with the Oculus and the HT Vive, and if it does come to PlayStation, you can play it on that. But a lot of people say that Valve, well, not a lot of people, Valve would say the ultimate experience to play it with is if you had it with the Index.
The Index. I know there's some people who've I looked up an article. There's some people who've actually they've messed with the system itself, and they found a way to release one that's that you can use a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, and a lot of people said that they've played that and they said it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it works, like he can play the game, but it just would feel so boring because you're not playing how it's supposed to be played.
Yeah, it was meant to be made in VR, so like trying to put something like that, it's like you can't. It's not gonna feel right. You have to. It's VR is the way to play Half-Life Alyx for a lot of people, and I'm like it's true.
One thing, I'm not gonna say any spoilers because I really think, like, even though it's been out for a while, I really think people need to watch or play it if they have the money to get a PC VR headset, or if you end up just watching a Let's Play like I did, you need to watch it because I don't want to talk about it because the ending made me so happy.
Yeah, a lot of Half-Life fans are very happy with it
because it makes me think, like, are they working on it? And by it, I mean, are they working on Half-Life 3? So,
my feeling if that happens, if they are working on it, I feel like that would end up being they would make that into a VR game. But at the same time,
that's what I'm thinking too.
I feel like it would be both a VR. They would try to find a way to make it both VR and PC, especially for some people who are like they're still stuck that they don't want a VR. But it really is up to them to see what they can do.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing I'm glad about Valve is that they have recently changed direction. It used to be they were just solely focused on Steam, but I think Steam has been around for a while that it started to it's working. This is a system that works. We don't need to keep monitoring it. And now they're moving back to making games, which I think is awesome. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have like this is really old news because this happened a while ago, back in March, before the first episode even happened. But they started a what's it called? I can't social media account on Twitter. They have a marketing team now. So now that really shows that, okay, I think they're starting to get back into gaming, kind of thing.
And hopefully they still do. They continue. Hopefully Half-Life Alyx isn't the last game Valve does. And
I don't
wait years. Yeah.
All right. Well,
speaking of games, we've also recently gotten a lot of like trailers and surprise announcements of games that are to come soon of this year, which a lot of people were surprised. Which, one of them we'll start with I can't even talk. The one that we'll start with is the one that Robin showed that he sent me a message about, which was the Mafia trilogy.
Yep.
I haven't personally played it, but I know Robin has. Sorry about that, but you can continue, Robin.
They recently announced it was a teaser trailer for the Mafia trilogy. And even before that popped up, I was reading stuff about, like, I think they might be showing something of a remaster or something. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think they're going to. And then I think, like, literally a couple hours later, I go onto YouTube and I see this. And I'm like, the hell? And what's exciting about it is that they're redoing the first Mafia game for... I don't know if it's going to be on PlayStation on the new PlayStation, or if they're going to be doing it for if they're going to do it on PlayStation 5, or if they're going to just do it on PlayStation 4 / Xbox One, all that.
I think it is going to be for the current gen, because I did see on the bottom it said PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Oh, okay. And Epic Games, I forgot. Yeah. So that's what I'm excited about, is that I've only played Mafia 2 and Mafia 3, and I finally get to play the first Mafia, which I never thought of. I never thought I would be able to. So the first Mafia would be set during the 1920s. I think it's supposed to be set in a fictitious Chicago. And then the second one is set in the 40s and 50s, and that's 40s well, actually 40s through 60s. So, and that's set in a fictitious New York City, and then Mafia 3 is set in a fictitious New Orleans, in the late 60s to early 70s.
I remember when the Mafia 3 was getting announced, like
oh yeah, like Mafia 3 is a good story. It has a really great story. It's just the gameplay is super repetitive in a lot of places, and it could have just been a lot better, the gameplay. There's a lot of returning there's at least one or two returning characters that come in Mafia 3 that I was not expecting to happen, but it was still cool to see them. And yeah, and we're supposed to get a full gameplay reveal on Tuesday. So
nice.
That's what I'm excited about. That's really all the information we have for it.
Oh yeah.
There's really not much information, not even a release date. So we'll find out on May 17th, May 19th. Sorry.
Yeah. And they also did another around that same time, out of nowhere, they did an announcement for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like I remember waking up and I saw, I'm like, wait, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, what's this skateboarding thing? I'm like, Tony Hawk.
I'm like, because I think I have Pro Skater on the 64 somewhere.
Oh, shit.
So I have the original one. I haven't played it yet. But it's kind of cool that, they're bringing these old games, this classic of a game, like considered one of the best classics you can get, and remastering it. So
I've never played the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, but seeing that it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, I want to give it a chance because I'm like, it looks fun.
I remember when they had Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and they also had BMX stuff at like when you go to McDonald's and you go into the playpen area and they have those video games you can try, and there were demos.
Oh yeah,
like that's where I first played some of those games, and I was like, oh man, they were just awesome. Pro Skater, like for me, Pro Skater's good. A lot of the Tony Hawk games are pretty good, except for the newer ones. But I really. It introduced me to the sport of skateboarding, and I've always, and like whenever the game Skate came out, that's whenever it really went up, and like thinking like this is how good skate games can get was when Skate came out from EA. Still waiting on Skate 4 to be announced. It'll never happen, but I want it to happen.
Only time will tell.
Yes. I don't think we have a release date yet for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
I believe it's in July. Yeah, that's what I'm about to check. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I think it's in July. Tony Hawk Pro Skater Remaster.
It's supposed to be released on September 4th.
September 4th?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so it comes out this week, this coming summer or fall or whatever.
It comes out this week? It comes out this week? What? Oh my god. I need to get it.
And then I think the last recent announcement of like a game that's coming out actually pretty soon, that I remember waking up before going to work and I saw this and I'm like, what the fuck? Which is they announced a new Paper Mario game called Paper Mario: The Origami King.
I thought you were going to talk about a completely different game, but yeah, I forgot about Paper Mario.
Which one were you going
to? I was thinking of Ghost of Tsushima when they were showing a gameplay.
Oh yeah,
trailer.
We'll get to that one in a bit. We're just let's go with these. And for me, I was like, I remember waking up and I'm like, did I miss a fucking direct or what? And then I check and I'm like, I look at it and it looks like it was meant to be in a Nintendo Direct, by the way how they ended it, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. But over the way it looks is like I've never played a Paper Mario game. I know a lot of I know that once Sticker Star happened, that's when everything went down to shit. And and Color Splash was like really horribly like just people hated it. I never played it, but I see because of the sticker mechanics and all that.
I haven't really gotten into Paper Mario. I think it's just the RPG element.
Yeah, and I want to try this one. I do want to try this one because by the looks of it, it looks like it's not going with the sticker or like the cards or whatever they try to do.
Sticker price, I don't know.
They're doing some other doing some other shit, but in general, it's like I want to see that game. I want to play that game. I'll play. It comes out in July.
Paper Mario's sticker price. It's Paper Mario, but Mario works at a car dealership, and you have to try to make sure that he tries to sell it at sticker price. I don't know.
He works at a factory. It comes out July 17th. So that's good. That's exciting, but yes.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot. That's the same day. That game comes out the same day as Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep. It comes out the same. Which PlayStation did a State of Play, their spin-off on Nintendo Direct, but it was only focused on Ghost of Tsushima, which we've never really seen gameplay for at all. We've only seen
one demo. We've seen one demo at E3,
which was years ago, wasn't it? Yeah,
but it still looked good, and it still looks good right now.
Oh yeah,
like I'm excited for it. I like the gameplay mechanic of where your place marker is on the map, because when you put a place marker on the map, the wind is what guides you to where it is.
Yeah,
and I think that's like a cool little technique thing that they added into it, and it's like that's really cool. You don't need to have a map. It's the wind that guides you.
I remember I've heard some people, because I was watching other people like talking about it and seeing it, and I was like, because I'm like, something looks familiar of it, and the way I look at it, it kind of reminds me of Breath of the Wild, just like the way the environment looks, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, that looks really cool. It tempts me. It's making me tempt me to buy a PS4 just for Ghost of Tsushima so I could play it and see how it is.
I mean, Breath of the Wild, just Zelda in general, is inspired by, it's inspired by medieval times, but it's also inspired by samurai quests and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I like the
even
go on.
Even in Breath of the Wild, the landscape is very similar to that of ancient Japan.
Mm-hmm. And with Ghost of Tsushima, I like how you can choose between the way you choose which one you want to be. You could be the samurai, or you could be the ghost.
Yeah,
it looks interesting. The only thing that I'm kind of like is the ghost kind of part where it's like very sneaky, but it's cause I guess it's because with that it's like kind of like I'm like I want to see more, and I want to play for myself, like how this sneaky being sneaky, or like being a ghost in it.
Like, what makes me excited about this too is that there's not a lot of mainstream games that talk about ancient Japan, because if you think ancient Japan history is actually it's really fascinating to learn about. This is this is supposed to be specifically set during the second Mongol invasion of Japan. So like when the Mongols tried to invade Japan, the first time they didn't even make it across the sea. They got completely wiped out by a typhoon. And then the second attempt, they actually made it on land, and that's what this is set. It's set during that time when they actually made it on land and they started to attack and fight, but only to then another typhoon comes in and basically wipes out that area, and they just gave up after that.
Wow.
So it's a bit of interesting piece of history to learn, I think.
I also the other stuff I like. Well, obviously they have. I was kind of surprised that they're having different types of clothing. that you can wear.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it, most of it, I thought it was gonna be just, oh, you're just playing with the one costume with either you're the samurai or the ghost or the beginning. But no, you just customize the character as much as like whichever you want, and they have their own abilities and their own strength with them,
which I think is cool because not everybody's gonna like. I think it's just cool just to have customization in general.
Oh yeah, because it's always a fun time.
Because it's because then it's like, oh, that's you.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
But I'm like, I don't know, Robin. Should I get a PS4 just to play that, or should I wait till the PS5?
I'd wait till the PS5 because then you can just play it on the PS5.
That's true.
So
it's just I don't know, anything that's like related to like Japan. Like I'm not as big as I'm not a history buff like you are or know a lot of history, but just like things that are like Viking related with their history, or anything that's like Japan related with samurais, or anything in like Asian culture, it always fascinates me, and playing it in a video game always makes me excited to play it.
Yeah.
And that comes out in July 17th as well, right?
Yeah, July 17th.
Shit.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Same. Speaking of spooky ghosts, we both saw the brand new Scooby-Doo movie called SCOOB, which is an animated cartoon film, which was supposed to release originally in theaters. I forgot when, but
it was supposed to be released in theaters on the day they released it in streaming.
Mm-hmm. But due to the virus and all Cinemarket closing and all movie theaters, it was sent to the videos theaters, live theater videos or whatever.
Streaming.
Live streaming, yeah,
They put it on streaming.
On streaming services, all that stuff. And we both saw it. When did you see it, Robin?
I saw it on Friday, the day it came out.
On Friday? And I just saw it this morning. I saw it this morning because my body, here's the thing. My body now working, not having work, for some reason, anytime around like 6 in the morning or like 7, I can't stay asleep now. It's like I have to wake up for some reason. I'm like, God dang it. And so I wake up. And so I wake up and I'm like just sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Let me rent the movie.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I've been having trouble sleeping too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can easily knock out at night and whenever at night. But when I wake up, it's like I can't go back to sleep when I wake up. Like depending on what time it is, like around 6 or 7, because it's like it's the morning, wake up, and you think you're going to work, but you don't.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyways, we both saw SCOOB, and I'll let Robin, what were your thoughts on the movie?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't the best Scooby-Doo movie that I've seen,
mm-hmm.
But it's definitely not bad. It's not terrible. I think for me, it's really hard for me to get mad at a Scooby-Doo movie, and it's very hard for me to dislike one, because it's just so much fun just to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about it is that they had it was basically Boomerang, the movie, in a sense, but it was mostly focused on Scooby-Doo. And what I really loved about it was how it was really mostly focused on Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Which those two characters are, in my opinion, the best characters in the whole show. Everyone would probably agree on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that they focused on, the friendship that they've had, of how it built up. And
quick thing. Spoiler warning. If you have not seen the SCOOB movie, there's some spoiler warnings, so you could skip over. It's going to be quite a bit, but I'll see where we can skip over, and I'll put it on the timeline when I upload it on YouTube. But continue, Robin.
So, my favorite part that I in this movie was that they had Hanna-Barbera characters from Dick Dastardly to Captain Caveman, and then they even had like, I thought it was so cool that when they opened the movie, basically, like after the gang first meets, and then they said, "Let's continue doing cases." I kind of like doing this, and then I called it when they were when I saw the first haunted house that they went into. I'm like, "Oh, are they gonna recreate the opening? Is that is that the house from the very beginning of the intro to the show?" And then as soon as they said, "Oh yeah, let's work together," it starts it up. I'm like, yes, it's the opening. This is so cool. I love it. And it was just so great. I loved it. It was a good movie.
Nice.
I don't think it's gonna. Do I think it's gonna get any recognition for best animated feature? Probably not. But it's still.
Say it again, because you just cut off.
Okay. Do I think it's going to get a recognition from the Academy for best animation? No, I don't think so. But it's still good.
Yeah. For me, it's like I'm kind of on the boat where it's when I was watching it. I love Scooby-Doo. I grew up with Scooby-Doo as a kid, and sometimes I'm like, I can't get mad at a lot of Scooby-Doo movies that I've seen. It's like, but the good things I've liked about it was I did like a lot of like the Hanna-Barbera references they were giving out and how it was implemented to the story. I really liked those. I guess my own like main concern with it is there was it felt more like an action film than it was as a Scooby-Doo mystery movie. And that's what I felt was like really lacking with it. Is it was more focused as I'm like, I don't hate it. I'm like, I don't hate it at all. I can't. There's nothing that I feel like it's that I can hate with it. I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it overall. It's just I felt that it lacked the mystery, like having called the Mystery Machine. There wasn't that much mystery to do other than them having adventures with the Blue Falcon and everything. And that's what I was kind of bummed with. I felt like they could have done a lot more interesting with the mystery stuff. But it felt like they were aiming more with this movie. It felt like they were aiming more with a mix of parents who've seen Hanna-Barbera and with and more aimed for like kids. And I know using that as a term and excuse of like, oh, this movie's just for kids. But like there's those movies that are like you can tell that this movie was like made in the intention of just making the kid laugh or enjoy it. And with Scooby-Doo, it was like this. With Scoob, it was with a mix of like it had its like pop culture moments where they played a lot of like very like popular music or anything like that. But at the same time, it had a lot of like references that if you didn't grow up with Hanna-Barbera, you wouldn't get it. But those things were I appreciated. I like the credits they did at the end where it showed a lot of like other Hanna-Barbera cartoons they've had.
Yeah, I think like I agree. I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. I think that was probably why I felt like it didn't feel like it was the best one, but it was still good.
Yeah.
But I do agree that at first when the movie started and it started doing some kid joke, I'm like thinking, oh, is it going to be one of these movies where, and like I can understand, like, you know, if it was made for kids, it would be made for kids and it would have kid type jokes, and I get that, but even in cartoons, it would be kid jokes. They still have adult jokes in it too. And then while watching it, I was like, okay, I guess it's going to be kind of one of those movies. And then I don't know why this got me, but I thought it was really funny. At first, I thought it was going to be cringy when Shaggy's going through like, oh, I'm listening to 90s music. It's a depressing song. Then it's 70s. It's a depressing song. Then 60s is I'm So Lonely. and then I'm like thinking, okay, that's a little bit funny. And then it cuts to, I'm just going to listen to a podcast. And that's what made me laugh out loud. I was just like, oh my God.
Just going to listen to a podcast. And I feel like those two were like the strong, like Shaggy and Scooby, like it was their movie, and it's like what kind of like shined with them. I feel like I've always loved Shaggy and Scooby. There's like they're my things. Hell, I like doing their voices a lot. And
I also thought it was really cool that they made Velma Hispanic in this movie.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, mama, but. Yeah. She's evolved over the years. She was like a white nerdy girl, went from white, and then snap Latina.
I think she's voiced by Gina Rodriguez. I think.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie.
I know Zac Efron's the voice in of Fred, which was kind of weird. I was kind of like not really used to it, but I understood why because the original Fred voices doesn't fit a teenager. Mm-hmm. I do, however, I did enjoy Dick Dastardly in the movie.
Yeah,
I had a good time with him.
I thought it was cool that they that his plot was his conflict. He was trying to get his friend back.
Yeah, the one part that made me laugh is when he's telling the story of how his I forgot what the dog's name is.
Me too. I just
saw it. And I know who it is, and it's But I love how he tells the story where he's like, I begged him not to go, but he's the reason he pushed him in. He's like, go in there, go in. He's like, I begged him not to go in there. And she's like, go on. That part made me laugh. I'm like, okay, I like that one. And Tracy
naturally for you.
And Tracy Morgan was Captain Caveman. I'm like, what?
I was like, what an odd choice, but then I was like, I couldn't get mad at it. I liked it in the end of it. I thought he was pretty good as Captain Caveman.
Also, my thing, the whole time I was thinking, like, when they're like, oh, this is what Dick Dastardly's plan was, I'm like, is Scooby-Doo basically the key to hell? That's my whole thought. I'm like, holy shit, Scooby-Doo's the fucking key to the underworld. He's Hellboy.
Oh my god.
Reggie, right open the world to Rel. And my thought...
Oh, well?
To Rel. My thought, when I was doing the Scooby-Doo voice, I was thinking, like Scoob, rip and tear until it is done. Ready? I'm the Room Rayer.
Oh no! You hear the heavy metal start playing.
That's what I'm like. What if like that scene where like Shaggy comes back from like the underworld thing? Because that'll bring Shaggy back when Shaggy sacrificed himself to go there. I was like, what if like the doors open? He's like in the Doomslayer suit.
God damn it.
He's like, Reggie, we're rapping. Like Scoob, I need to kill Like Scoob, I'm here to rip and tear demons, man.
Like, I don't know why. I just think like Fred comes up to him and just like, oh my god, Shaggy, it's a good thing you're dead. Like, I'm sorry, Fred, this is automatic. He just like hits him really hard.
Glory kills Fred.
Oh my god!
Like, I'm sorry.
It's like I can't. It's automatic. It's not even like it's something he can't control.
The Doomslayer he can't control because he's became a video game. Like, man, there's like a human controlling me.
Doomslayer is just a regular guy. It's the suit that's controlling him. He can't talk because his helmet is muting him.
My mind was thinking, I'm like, what if the Doomslayer is now canon to the Hanna-Barbera series?
God damn it!
My whole thought was like, I'm like, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy could be one of the Doomslayers, and Dick Dastardly is the scientist that basically opened the portal to hell.
Yeah.
and the Blue Falcon or whatever they're doing is basically Vega, who's. And that's what I thought of the whole movie when they're talking about, because I remember my thought, what I predicted why Dick Dastardly wanted him. It was kind of obvious, because I'm like he's like, I need you, Scooby Doo, And I'm like,
Yeah.
what if Scoob? I'm jokingly like, he probably wants Scooby-Doo's head. And then I see like the skulls that he had that are dogs. I'm like, oh my god, he actually wants his head. And then I later find out he's trying to open the underworld. I'm like, oh my god, Scooby-Doo in the prophecies, he's the key to hell.
God damn it. I also knew that like whenever it's obvious to any movie viewer, but like whenever Shaggy puts the necklace on, or the not necklace.
Oh, in the beginning where Scooby's like, I'm never breaking it off, and I'm like,
yeah, and it's like
me and my brother were watching it at the same, and like I said, I'm like, he's gonna take it off, isn't he? Also, the big gripe that I have is like, why the fuck is Simon Cowell in this movie?
I was thinking that too. I was like, Simon Cowell. Wait, hang on.
Because they're like, we need to do business and we need an investor to have. And Velma's like, and Scooby's like, and then they're like, Shaggy's like, well, Daphne's like, wait. Velma's like, wait, Shaggy, you don't do your taxes? I'm like, Scoob does it for me. I do the Rexes. And they're like, we need someone who can be our weapon.
I just realized, like, then it's like, then you would question, how did the Dick Dastardly's robots find Scooby and Shaggy? And it's like, oh, because Simon Cowell the entire time was Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. But my mind's like, why the fuck in the beginning? I'm like, Simon Cowell, is that the first person you guys go to? Hey, Simon Cowell, can you guys give us a funding so we can build our Mystery Incorporated thing? And this is this is the second anime movie I've seen him in. Besides, first Shrek 2, now Scoob.
Yeah.
I knew once. Go on.
I was like, whenever I saw that, I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just like, just go ahead. It's gonna be short. Just keep going.
I would say that was my least favorite scene in the entire movie because I'm like, once Simon Cowell was in it, and I'm like, I knew like how a lot of pop culture was going on. I'm like, one of these guys is gonna start singing to him, and they're gonna on purposely sing bad because they're gonna play with that joke. And it was Scooby and Shaggy, and I'm like, oh my god, stop.
Oh my god. Well,
what would you overall? That's main review. What would you give it, Robin?
Out of 5 stars, still, right?
Yes. Out of 5 stars.
I'd give it 3. A solid 3 stars. I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't nudge it up, but definitely would not nudge it down. But I would, I don't know, like maybe 3.5. But right now it's a 3.
Yeah. For me, it's gonna sound very low, but I give it a 2.5, which is basically like in between, in the middle.
Okay.
Which is like, it's for other people terms, is a 5 out of 10. And for me, it's like, I guess it's like I'm more on the fence. It's like, there's some stuff I liked and I enjoyed. Other stuff that I'm like, it was missing a chunk that I like about Scooby-Doo. But I'm not mad at it, but I don't think it's like the best thing out there. But that's the exact same reason I'm coming from too. It's like I'm very neutral with it. It's like there's no hate to the movie. It's like it's not a Trolls 2 kind of fucking garbage.
Yeah. It's like what is there to hate? It's a Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, it's like I always have a soft spot for anything Scooby-Doo, and with this, it's like I was missing just the mystery part of it.
Yeah.
And if it were to have the mystery part of it and build with it and still keep the Hanna-Barbera characters in it, I feel like it would have been a much better film overall. But it doesn't. But even with that, I don't really hate it. But at the same time, I don't love it. Mm-hmm. But that's the reason I give it a 2.5 stars. It's an in between thing.
Yeah.
Because when I was also talking about how it's like it's made for like kids. I'm not talking about, it's like it's not at the level of Trolls 2 where that movie was just specifically made for a child.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to see Trolls 2, please don't.
I wasn't planning on.
For the love,
I wasn't planning on.
The only reason I saw Trolls 2 because I was at my grandma's house, and we were there having like a cookout, and our little cousin. I have a little cousin. She's like a young baby. She's like 3 or 4. I don't know how old. And she's in love with either. It's like the movie that she'll watch a million times is either Frozen, Frozen 2, or Trolls 2. And she put Trolls 2 on there, and it was on the TV, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the definition of a movie that's for kids, only kids. It was kind of a fantasy.
Yeah, honestly, I'm starting to think because the Academy this year is they're opening up to we're gonna include streaming, which I think they should have already, but whatever. Yeah. So because they kind of have to right now because of what's going on, and I'm thinking so far we're getting close to summer. It's like, what can they nominate for animation?
It's because the only ones that I know right now is Trolls 2 and SCOOB.
Yeah, and those two are definitely not contenders. As much as I like SCOOB, it's not a contender.
No, but I won't be surprised if Trolls 2 gets nominated. It's that movie. It's just nothing but colors and animation. It's like a lot. I get it. A lot of people worked there. A lot of hardworking people worked their asses off with the animation for Trolls 2. I'm
stupid.
What?
Onward.
Oh yeah, Onward.
Onward came out this.
Oh yeah,
that one's gonna get nominated. That one will.
That's gonna get nominated and win it. I'm 100% sure.
I'm not. I wouldn't be too upset with it, but that's just me.
Yeah. I'm not.
I really liked Onward. I thought it was really good.
It was. Yeah. My thoughts of Onward. It's the same. I'm very like. It was a fine time. I don't think it's the best Pixar film, but I didn't hate the time I was watching.
Oh yeah. No. It's not the best Pixar film, but I really enjoyed that. Oh, cool. They're exploring the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Esque, like Dungeons and Dragons esque. It's not because that would be copyright, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but the whole time I was watching Trolls 2, it was just like, this is nonsense. There's no point to this movie.
Jesus.
It was colors and then a pop song and then kid jokes that make kids laugh and then another pop song. Because the whole premise of the movie was like, they made it seem like rock and roll was it was evil and they had to change it at the end. What I hate it because everything they showed good was pop. It was pop, jazz kind of. And a lot of just basically all the songs that they had there that seemed like they were different genres were all only because every song was just only for the popular songs, for the greatest hit, the most popular songs there, which were just really bad. And the end of the song, it was it's a song that mixes every genre: country, pop, rock, classic, everything. And you would think, you would be like, oh, I wonder how that sounds. Oh, the whole song was nothing but a fucking pop song. It was all a fucking pop song. And they would only have quick snippets of country and then rock, but then the rock would just transform to pop. And I'm like, this is not a combination of everything. It's pop, but has tiny bits and pieces of other genres. It's this is shit.
God.
I would give Trolls I'll give it a 1 star just because of the animation. Because there's people who worked hard on those animations, and I feel bad for those people who who worked on this Trolls 2 that didn't need to be made. But yeah, that was our review of SCOOB.
Ending with a 1-star review of Trolls 2. Oh God.
On that note, last segment, I've always liked the segment that I've done, which is the untitled segment, which is what we've recently saw or what we recently played that we finished.
That should just be what the segment is called, untitled segment.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what I'm going to keep it. The untitled segment. The untitled segment.
All right. I think last time I went first.
True.
So you go first.
What have I recently beaten or watched besides SCOOB? What movie did I see? Let me think. The video game I played a while ago. Oh, I was a while ago I did beat not a while ago, but like weeks ago, a month ago. I finally got Luigi's Mansion 3 and I beat it.
Oh, nice.
And my thoughts of it, I loved it. I really loved Luigi's Mansion 3.
I need to continue playing it because I just kind of stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get into it.
It's a gorgeous game, though. It's a really fucking beautiful game.
Yeah.
And it's just like the charm that comes through it is really great. It's like my own complaints is like the money isn't like there's no use for the money other than trying to track down gems or booze, and I feel like they could have done more with it. Like maybe upgrade it. Like maybe that you could have upgraded the suit for cosmetic stuff to wear like different costumes or different poltergeist skins and looks and all that. Like use it how because I'm like other than that you're just collecting the money just to collect but it's not a bad thing because like sucking up everything from the poltergeist it's satisfying, really satisfying. My one thought is like ever since like Luigi's Mansion came out, I'm like why don't they ever like try to find a way like with Nintendo money try to add a Ghostbuster skin in Luigi's Mansion.
That'd be cool.
Like
I don't think it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but it's like it's always a thought. But I really love Luigi's Mansion. It was a very simple story, but it didn't have to be anything complicated.
I need it. I'll get back into playing it. I need to continue playing it.
Yeah, and then a show that I saw a while. A movie that I remember what movie I recently watched besides SCOOB. I rewatched the SpongeBob movie. The very first SpongeBob movie. And
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, that movie is still a fucking good time.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's like it's been a while since I saw it, so when I was like, you know what, let me rent it. It's cheap on Amazon Prime. It's only $1. I watched it and I'm like, holy shit! Like even the jokes that are kind of dated for nowadays, like kids wouldn't understand or some people wouldn't get it. Like even with those, like even I'm like. I still laughed at them. Like, the David Hasselhoff scene is still fucking great. And just, like... And there's, like, a lot of, like... There's, like, so many jokes in it that I'm, like, thinking, like... Wow, like, some of these were, like... I didn't know them as a kid. I remember, like, the one that I think I told you...
See my underwear? No, Patrick. Do you want to?
Do you want to? The one that I remember seeing is, like, when SpongeBob realizes he doesn't get the promotion, he's not the one that owns a Krusty Krab too.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that.
And then he said it walks away because when it starts, it's like, I'm ready, promotion. And then he's walking away, he's like, I'm ready, depression, I'm ready. And I'm like, oh my god, how did I not notice that?
God damn it.
And then I love at the end where, like, Patrick comes in, SpongeBob! And he's, like, fully nude with a flag of SpongeBob in his ass crack. And then, like, he just...
Did you see my butt?
What? And then they both get drunk as hell. Not really drunk, but like drunk in ice cream. And SpongeBob's like walking in. He's basically about to make Mr. Krabs die.
He's like, he looks like he's about to puke all over Mr. Krabs.
It's like,
how much he's drunk.
SpongeBob.
I have something to say about Mr. Krabs.
He's a great guy until not. And then,
I also realize he's a great big jerk. Why I should have gotten that promotion, but you didn't give it to me because you said I was a kid. Well, I will tell you that I am 101% man, and this man has got something to say to you. There. I think I've made my point.
I also love the parts where it's like it's King Neptune. That's the only time we'll ever see that version of King Neptune ever.
I know. There's either the muscular one or it's that one.
Yeah. I like when he takes bald, my eyes.
My eyes! Oh god.
What about you,
All right.
Robin?
So what I've recently played, so I got this way back when it first came out. I have the Beatles Rock Band, and since then, like I think a couple of years ago, not a couple, a little bit more, I got rid of my Guitar Hero guitar for the Wii because that's what I had the Beatles Rock Band on, and I recently repurchased a new controller and a new Guitar Hero controller, and I've been playing the Beatles Rock Band. I've been replaying that again, and it makes me realize just how much of a surprise that this game was considered one of the best games to sell in 2009. In the Guinness Book of World Records of Gaming, it was the second best-selling game.
Damn.
In 2009, yeah. So I think it makes me realize. It then made me think every time I would watch stuff about the Beatles or listen to Queen, I keep thinking what if they made a Queen Rock Band game?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, and it just brings playing Rock Band, playing on finally knowing how to play Expert. And then now I finally get to play the Beatles Rock Band on Expert. It's it just feels satisfying just to replay it, and it brings back a lot of memories, and it's just a fun time playing it. And I still think it's one of the best rhythm games ever made.
I never played the Guitar Hero games. I remember that, but I would always see friends or family, cousins would be playing the game, would have it, and they play it. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But I do remember when the Beatles one came out. I'm like, oh. This was before I got really into music.
They made, with the Beatles Rock Band, they made specific controllers to look like Paul McCartney's Hofner bass, George Harrison's electric guitar, as well as the guitar that John Lennon used when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I've always wanted those guitars.
They're probably expensive right now.
Oh yeah, they are. The thing that's cool about the Hofner bass is that they specifically made it used to be if you wanted to play bass, you just use the regular guitar controller. But because the Hofner bass from Paul McCartney is such an iconic bass, they specifically made the handle longer than the guitar than the normal guitar on a Guitar Hero controller would be. So it feels like you're actually playing a bass.
Dang.
So, but yeah, I really like playing that. I'd recommend it.
Nice.
If you somehow are able to get your hands on it. So
one day I'll get my hands on those
Krabby Patties.
Yeah, the Krabby Patties. I see the Beatles.
Oh man.
Any last words, Robin?
I don't. Not really. Just be careful out there and follow me on Twitter at RobinatorD1000.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in, and see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can't feel my legs. Hey, Peter.
Hey, Joe, are we done yet?
I don't know, Peter. I can't feel my legs. You ate them.
Yeah, I ate your legs, Joe.
Hey, Peter. Joke's on you. I ate your son's legs.
No!